Here it is, folks, the elusive white Vibroplex. Like the supernatural white stag, the white lion, and Arctic fox, this key is beautiful in its pearly white. Just one problem: this key was never made. Vibroplex has made keys in black Japan, blue Japan, chrome, nickel, gray crinkle. In the Depression era, they even made them in blue, red, and green enamel. Later with black crinkle. There was even battleship gray during World War II when chrome was in short supply. They painted the deluxe editions battleship gray. Later, when Vibroplex moved to Maine, we started seeing keys that were kind of a pinkish beige, and then there was a sandy tan. And later when Vibroplex moved to the south, they had keys in matte red, matte blue, and matte black, but a white Vibroplex key is one that I've never seen and always wanted. So I finally got a key that was in bad enough shape to make it worth sanding and painting, and I went with white. And I even printed out some finger pieces and the circuit closer knob and the new Vibroplex lightning bug pendulum extension I've been playing with the design for, all in white. And I gotta tell you what, this key is beautiful. I am really liking this key, and it feels good too. This key actually was in really good shape despite the finish, but this key sounds great, it works great. I've got just everything about it that I love. If you stay tuned, I'll even show you exactly what went into making the mythical white Vibroplex come to life. For right now, let's put the key on the air. Let's see if we can hunt some parks on the air. Good afternoon, Adam. You're 579. Awesome. Jim's always good for a contact. He activates a lot, and I really, really enjoy hunting Jim. Who knows, maybe Jim will even have his camera rolling. Jim's got a nice little YouTube channel. WB0RLJ is his call sign. And who knows, we might be tagging each other's videos. We might have YouTube both ways. Anyway, yeah, like I said, stay tuned, and I'll show you the build process on this key, how it started, what we did, and how it finished, even the blunders along the way. I seem to struggle a lot with this key, probably because I'm really nowhere near as familiar with lightning bugs as I am with the originals. I've just done so many more originals than I have lightning bugs. I'm pretty sure I could do an original in my sleep. Anyway, 7-3 for now, and hope you enjoy the next part of the video. Hey folks, Adam AI4UH here, and today we are working on a new project. I was able to find this lightning bug for sale online, and it looked like it was in really bad shape, but that it had most or all of its parts. So I figured, let's see if we can do something to restore it or make something cool out of it. And worst case scenario, I could definitely use the parts for some other projects. Good packaging. As bad a shape as the bug was in, it's certainly not going to be any worse for the wear. I just jinxed it though, didn't I? Now we're going to find the finger pieces were broken. There she is. And there she is. So here we go, serial number 106332. 106, without checking the list, that's going to be made maybe 1930 or definitely the early 30s. I know my 105s were made in 1929, I believe. Wow, I haven't looked at the lists in a while. I feel like I'm getting rusty. Looks like the contacts have been replaced on here. They're really, really thick contacts all the way around, all four of them. So that's cool. We can get those cleaned up real nice. Circuit closer, binding posts, damper, 2 weights. Looks like one factory, one aftermarket. Potentially homemade, I'm not sure. The trunnions look to be in okay shape. Wonder what this hole in the corner and this hole in the back were for. I wonder if they had that screwed down to the desk at some point. Oh, what's this? The underside is it's a funky color. Definitely a funky color. All right, well let's go ahead and get this thing broken down. Well, that lives there. The top part's not an awful shape. We're getting down to the brass tacks now. Literally, we got a couple of brass tacks in here. Gonna need a different tool for that. I will go and grab the right tool after we get the last of the screws out. Alright, be right back. Okay. What is still on there? I think that washer. I don't know if it's rusted on or if it's perfect fit and it's just kind of caught on the threads. It's just kind of stuck on there. I think we're going to be replacing that washer. Yeah, that's more trouble than it's worth. We will replace that with the appropriate size washer. Alright. And then that just leaves the nameplate. Yeah, I can't figure out what color that's supposed to be under here. I want to say I can see green under this. But it looks like the sides have been ground down. I don't think this is the original Vibroplex green. It doesn't look like the other sample I have in my collection. I'll grab that for comparison. So this is my green original, serial number 105. So one thing, this is serial number 106. So you could see though that it would be the right vintage if there was going to be a colored Vibroplex bug. It's in the right serial number range, but you can clearly see how the green enamel was painted over the black Japan finish, and that was standard. That was how they did it at the factory. This, it looks like it was sandblasted and spray painted green, and time had its way with it. This does not look like the original Vibroplex green, and that's important for me to look into before I do anything with this, because I certainly wouldn't want to cover up something that maybe could be somewhat restored if it was one of those rare colored enamel bases. Let me put this away. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can get the rust off of here, and I think I'm going to paint it a white enamel. I really wanted to have a white Vibroplex key for a while, and I just haven't had one that was in bad enough condition to give it a shot at a white base. So that's going to be this one. I'm going to clean all of the other parts. I'm going to clean the nameplate. Everything is going to be made as new as I can possibly make it, and then we'll put it back together on hopefully very pretty looking white base. So that's what we'll be doing, and I'm going to go ahead and clean everything, and then we'll meet right back here and put it back together. All right, so I just pulled all the parts out of the parts bath and got everything looking really pretty good. Yeah, you can see we got all of the chrome pieces shined up. The contacts, they look nice and silver again. The base, I got most of the rust knocked off of it, and I wanted to show you something before I take this out for paint. I discovered that there is some crinkle finish under where the nameplate and the main frame assembly used to be, and I can even see, was it on this end? Yeah, on this end I can see some of the same thing, a little bit of crinkle finish. So it looks like whatever happened to this key in its past life, it was born with a crinkle finish, and somebody took that down, although they left it under the nameplate and main frame assembly, and then I assume painted it, based on the underside, which is still in, still got some paint on it. I assume they painted it a light green. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the last of that old finish off, and we'll see if we can get this to take a very nice white enamel. And this would be my first Vibroplex key in white. So yeah, again, been waiting for a key that was in this bad a shape to make it worth painting. As you all know, I'm not a big fan of painting keys. If something could be restored to its original condition, even if it shows the time that it's been in service, that's okay. Especially for this one, this is almost 100 years old. It's 2025 right now, and this key was probably around in 1930. I will look that up before the end of the video. I don't want to keep lying if I'm wrong about this being a 1930 key. Anyway, all right. So coming right back with part 3 after we get this thing painted. Okay, one more shot before paint. So I just wanted to show you, I went ahead and sanded off the that remaining crinkle finish that was under the nameplate and the main frame assembly. All right, and through the magic of video, we have a painted base ready to go. full disclosure, this is the second time I've come out and started to put this back together, but let's just say mistakes were made. I can also tell you, I figured out the right way and the wrong way to put this faceplate back on. The right way is to tap these brass pegs through, put them on an anvil, and then hammer them the rest of the way. Do not try and hammer them from the bottom, or you'll end up repainting your base like I did, because I messed everything up. There were problems. I think I might be bleeding. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the damper assembly. And I do have the clutch set on this driver to make everything look nice. Man, that really looks nice. The chrome on that white base, I think I'm going to be really happy with this. Next, let's go ahead and we'll need that. And we'll need these. Alright, and I'm just going to square these up a little bit, and then we'll loosen everything up for our later adjustments. It's funny, I've done way more originals than I have lightning bugs. And an original, I feel like I could close my eyes and get it back together without thinking too much, but the lightning bug, I'm really thinking to make sure I'm not missing any steps, that I'm not missing any parts. So we've got that contact and this contact and the two random holes that we didn't know what they were for. And then we've got that one and that one. Is that right? It sure is. And we had this piece of wire. We get a piece of sandpaper here and make sure we've got good copper here to make those connections with. All right, that looks pretty good. And then that's gonna have to go on. Just doing all my planning here so that I can get it all right on the first shot, because I probably won't, but one can wish. There. And that's going to go there. If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's what my father taught me when I was young. We were out riding around in his truck, and he was on his third or fourth attempt to cut through a neighborhood and got trapped in a cul-de-sac. And I said, "Dad, if this is a shortcut, why is it so hard?" And he didn't miss a beat. He said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So whenever I'm working on something like this, and you know, I keep getting butterfingers and dropping things in places, I just remember, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So let's get that through there. And then we'll need those. And that's going to go there. Oops. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Oh, man. Yeah, these little insulators are so tight that you basically have to drive the screw through it. And then this one went right there, and that's going to be this contact. New video series coming. Making easy things look difficult with AI for UH. Okay. So that will then get one of these. And this. And that. And then, of course, the lock nut. All right. Now we just need this one here. Okay, those need to be positioned and tightened, but overall we're coming right along. Of course I went the wrong way with it. But hey, that's the first major mistake I've made since the first attempt that we cut out completely. Okay. This time, let's go like that. Where does that pick up electrical connection from? All right, that just leaves this, and I thought we'd get fancy since we're making up a white key. I thought I would print up some white finger pieces, real fancy like, to go with it. So let's start with this one. All right, and one of these. Okay, that's not a bad look at all. The other thing I've been working on, and this is just a prototype, I definitely do not have these ready for prime time yet, but I've been working on a pendulum extension for our champion and lightning bug. And if I just put this on in the right direction, it might actually snap in place. All right, it caught right there on the divot. Yeah, so that gives us a nice little extension on our pendulum so that we can attach the weight a little bit further out. And let's go ahead and put everything through here. All right, that's not bad. And then I have some period original feet, but I'd like to use these square ones instead because I feel like I get a better grip out of them. So I'm going to just tear 3 of those off. I use these a lot on straight keys when I'm putting feet on the mounting base. So we've got one for that corner, and one for that corner, and we'll put one in the back. Oh yeah, that's got a lot of grip to it. I reversed the contacts. Man, I'm really succeeding here. All right, let's go ahead and get those swapped out. Didn't even notice it. It's too funny. Need to put that clutch back in. There we go. And the other contact post, put that where that goes. Alright, that looks a whole hell of a lot better. So just like we adjust every other bug, let's first adjust it so that, oh, I'm missing a spring. Let's get that spring connected before we try and make any adjustments, huh? Okay, and we want just enough spring tension. That feels pretty good. Okay, and then just like every other bug, we want to adjust it so it just barely lifts off the damper and then barely rests back on the damper. Now we tighten that down, and then we'll come in here, and I'm just going to give the bit side stop just a little kiss on there and then back it off a little bit. That feels pretty good. And now we need to get the dit side contact, and then let's adjust that one in. Alright, I think that might be just about where we want it. Now, of course, I'm going to hold on to the original finger pieces, and at some point I'll get around to making a circuit closer in white so that we can be nice and matching here. Let's get that dialed in. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Alright, now we just need something to make a little noise with. Let me pull a radio over here. Alright, we'll grab this True SDX. And let me, before I forget, go ahead and change the TX drive to 0. That cord needs a little work. And let's grab there's like 0 chance that this is going to work on the first try, but maybe we get lucky. And that's in USB mode. And of course, a speaker. That sounds pretty good. overall, this key's not in such a bad shape after we knocked all the rust off of it. Let's see just how far down this extension will take it. It's a pretty decent key. We could definitely get that on the air right away. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed watching me struggle and blunder in making the official Empire-issued Stormtrooper key, issued to every Stormtrooper in all of Star Wars. Kidding aside, I really wanted to see what this would look like, a white key with white finger pieces. I might put the black ones back on and really give it that Stormtrooper look, but at the end of the day, I'm happy. And if you're happy with your key, everybody else around you can be happy too. Hope to hear everyone on the air, 7-3, and talk to you next time.